Welcome to the BL Express. This is the BL Week in Review, and I am your host, BL Songbird. Hi, everybody. It's good to see you. Bear with me a little bit this evening. It's earlier than usual. Thank you for those who are tuning in still. I appreciate you. I just barely got home from work, so I won't normally be going into the office on Tuesdays, but this was a weird week. So thank you for your patience and understanding. A little crazy. How was everybody's week? Any fun happenings? I feel like school always makes things fun. So every day is a little bit different. And every day is always unique and interesting. So yeah. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, if you never joined this before, this is a Q&A format. Open that chat line. Join us. Everybody is really welcoming and lovely, and everybody really loves chatting. And so if you've never joined before, feel free to join the live chat. It's inaccessible on a TV, but cool things can be done. You could watch it on the TV and then have the chat open on your phone, for example. Okay, so we're not going to spend lots and lots of time today, so I'm going to jump right into the week in review. There aren't a lot of extras anyway that I can think of, but if you have any fun little BL extras to throw into the comments, I'll be sure to read them out loud. Oh, I guess big news from GMMTV today, right? They shook it up a little bit by replacing one of the main characters in a major series. Let me look that up real quick. What is the main? Okay, My Romance Scammer. That is the series. They're replacing one of the main characters, Om. Let's see. Not Om. Om is remaining. Fluke Girat is being replaced by Poon Mitpakti, and Poon was of Mark and Poon in a few series. I think the most recent one is We Are, but they have gracefully said individually that they won't be continuing together as a pair. So I guess that's a big deal. And then that also means A Dog and a Plane's casting has changed as well. I don't know if anybody is into GMTV news, but I found that particularly interesting. All right. Anyways, week in review. Series that left last week. This was pushed together for me, kind of rushed together. So if I miss anything and you're aware of it, be sure to go ahead and put it in the chat. And so I'll read it out loud for everybody. Was not surprised Mark and Poon split. There have been rumors about that for months. Yes, there have been actually. Perfect 10-liners, Perfect 10-liners was the last one they were in together. I knew it was a major compilation. I had the wrong major compilation. There was a rumor that someone was splitting after their last series, and we all thought it was them, but then there wasn't any news. So now there's news. Ah, yes, Dare You to Death is also getting a change in cast. The cast member that was going to play alongside Om is going to Dare You to Death instead. So Fluke Girat is going to Dare You to Death, and Drake is obviously left GMMTV, so that seems to be why the replacement of Shimon. So yeah, interesting, right? But Dare You to Death is officially in the workshop stage. They're moving forward. They're going to be starting filming soon, so that's super exciting. Obviously, since there was such a major cast change in A Dog and a Plane, I don't know, and then A Dog and a Plane and The Wedding Scammer, those are both, there's no rumors of start dates yet for those two. Okay, Sun Tiny had its finale last week. Some of us, whomever watched it, including me, I very quietly watched it. You guys are only going to hear about it here. I haven't put it anywhere, but I very quietly watched that one because I really like Max and Nat, regardless of what they do. I happen to have iQIYI Premium, and so I watched that several weeks ago. But if you didn't, episode 10 aired this last week and is now over. And that is a Thai BL on iQIYI. And then Delivered. Delivered is a Korea BL on YouTube that also ended this last week. So those are the two that I'm aware of because Revenge Love we talked about last Tuesday. Right, DeLorean? It ended weeks ago for some of us. Anyone who had premium, it ended weeks ago. But for those of us who didn't, yeah. For those of us who didn't, it aired, yes, finished last week. It's crazy, right? I think that's it for endings, though. If I'm wrong this week, because again, like I said, school's in session. Today feels super rushed to me because I had to be on campus today. If I missed anything, please let me know. Okay, things that are starting this week. Luminous Begins. So Luminous Begins is a Thai BL. I feel like I say Thai BL a lot, but the flood is real. Right, guys? Delivered, I think you would call that a mini series. I don't know that you would call that a full series. I think it's probably like those little Korean dramas on YouTube tend to be like 4 to 6 episodes of like 8 to 9 minutes each. So some people are watching them. Some people are finding them super fun. So I just thought I'd throw a shout out for that. But no, I wouldn't call it a full series. We'll call those mini series. How about that? I'll try to switch my wording in this. Okay, so Luminous Begins is a Thai BL. It's behind a paywall on YouTube. So if you want to watch that one, you'll have to pay for the channel. It's unfortunate because it actually looked kind of interesting. I feel like that was the one. Yeah, that was the one. There was a cafe owner or not a cafe owner, but a cafe shop that like basically people went to cure themselves of sadness. And the whole plot is like circles around that concept. And it looked like it was via some sort of magical thing. There were keys on necklaces involved. So it actually looked really interesting. It's kind of unfortunate for us that it's behind a paywall, but I get it. You know, we all have to find ways to make money, and who knows? Maybe they'll put like the first episode out for people to see like a week later, just to know if it's worth paying. You know you want to know before you do that. Okay, so the big one. Actually, before we get to the big one, we have another one that also mentioned in my Patreon Discord server, which you haven't yet. Join it. We're having some fun over there. Anyways, there's a vertical Thai series on YouTube called Wish a Bear. And it started last Saturday with episode 1. It really is a vertical format series, so each episode is only like, a minute 37 seconds in the vertical real drama formatting. And then also Yin and War, they like played us again. I feel like they're Jack and Joker brought to life or something like that. Right? They put out this little promo. I don't remember, it was May, June. And then they were like, for like, it looked like a series. And then they were like, psych, come see us in our concert. And we're like, screw you guys. Right? And then they go ahead and release this series. One episode per day between, like, I don't know. I think today was episode 3. I haven't watched it yet. It's a vertical reel series again. But they're posting it on across all social media platforms, so you can find it pretty much anywhere. And you can. Oh my goodness, you read that. I lost my train of thought. Yes, good to see you. I'm glad you made it. Ah. Anyway, okay, so you can find it anywhere. And basically, they took that little preview and said, "Psych again, we are releasing this series. It's just a mini series of like 50, I don't remember, it was 15 or 20 episodes, one episode per day. And at the end of every episode, it's super cute. They like put a little advertisement for their concert." So I'm like, you dudes are brilliant. Like everybody is going to know about it, because we all want to see them in a series, and they're in one, and all of the episodes have their advertisement for the concert. So I have not, like, what a brilliant advertising strategy. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe. Anyway, there's another type, a vertical series from Thailand that is floating out and about right now for you guys to enjoy. And then on Saturday, we have Revamp starting on ICE. Revamp is a Thai BL from GMMTV. Bon and Prem. Bon is basically the creative visionary behind the series. So if you don't know a lot about him, you can like look him up and learn a little bit more. But it's kind of cool to know that this is his baby. He's been working on it since 2020, and it's gone through lots of iterations, and everybody was up in arms because they added comedic elements. But every single serious series that I've seen come out of Thailand, at least the ones that I've seen, all seem to have comedic elements. Like they don't ever just stick with seriousness. And for me personally, the more I think about it, I'm like, if a series was serious all the time, wouldn't it get dreary? Wouldn't you stop watch? I would personally probably stop watching it via, like, okay, I don't want to be sad all the time. I feel like adding a little comedy in is important. It just, how well do they do it? And I guess we'll find out how well they blend it in. I feel like Khemjira is doing a great job of blending in the comedy. Hopefully, Revamp does equally well. Their episode 0, they're calling it an action series, action fantasy. Those were the terms everybody used when they were talking. So I've got my fingers crossed about that. I'm not sure how to feel about it, except I love Bone and Prem. Eureka, yes. Revamp, I'm not sure how to feel. Wish a Bear airs on One Camera Studios YouTube channel and SNS social media. Oh, it's on social media too? Good to know. I feel like I have been waiting forever for Revamp. Really looking forward to it. 2020? No wonder. Yeah, it's crazy, right? I feel like it was originally called like something broccoli, the broccoli story or something like that. Anyway, it was pretty much named after their fandom that they collectively had. And then it had another iteration of a title. This is like the third or fourth title even that this series has had, which is crazy. And we're finally getting it. Like, they joined GMMTV, and finally got the funding for it to do it right, I guess. And here we are. Okay, so as far as I'm aware, that is all that we have on the slate this week. It's pretty mild as far as weeks go for BL, I feel like. Right, Eureka? I feel like I don't know whom was making the complaints anymore, but he really thought this out. It's what he wants it to be, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see if what he wants is what the audience wants. But at any rate, I'm sure he'll be super proud of his work, and I'm sure he felt awful that people were already complaining and hadn't even started yet. But yeah, 5 years. Wow, I'm not going to complain anymore. I definitely don't intend on complaining. I'm just going to take in what he has to share. Okay, so I thought we'd do a little spoiler section at the end. Shout out to Osel for like noting the spoiler section last week that I didn't exactly shout out about. and I should have, I apologize. But this week, from here on out, this will be the spoiler section of today's live. I thought we'd chat a little bit about Shine and Khemjira, and those are the two from me. But if there are any series that you want to chat about as well, go ahead and put it in the comments. What were favorite moments from this week? And I mentioned Shine and Khemjira probably because, like, for me, those two series are it. This week's episodes of Almost Everything had huge shockers. Yes, uh, notably for me, Doctor's Mine on Sunday. I won't speak too much to it because I know typically, even when we do the spoilers part, we really only do mild spoilers. We don't really go heavy into spoilers. But it was a big enough shocker slash twist that if it is indeed true what they ended the episode with, I won't be continuing the series because it kind of was sickening to me. So, Doctor's Mine, no thank you. Possibly. We'll see. I'm going to try one more episode. Khemjira and Shine are probably my current favorites. Khemjira, I mean, those two lead actors, those two babies who have never done anything before, this is their first series. Wow, right? I think it's both their first series, isn't it? You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I'll look that up actually because I don't want to say it wrong in case they've had small parts before. I think it's their first main roles anyway. But they could have had smaller roles, and I'm unaware. So let's look up King. Okay. This is King's first main role, and Namping. It's his first main role, too. But he was in Night Dream as a supportive character, so he's been in one other. But I think it's King's first role and Namping's second role. Oh, he was in the movie? Okay. He was a support role. Where is his movie section? They didn't put it on MDL. No movie section. There's dramas. Oh, wait, there it is. Yeah, support role. Okay, so they both had a support role before, just no main roles. Got it. My bad. Second, but still, um, their first main role, and they're both doing really, really well in it. And I don't know, like it is mostly scary. And the music is haunting, and the special effects are really well done, and the CGI is good. I think for me, I think at least off the bat here, it remains to be seen about future storytelling. But off the bat, Khemjira is better than the next prince. I know those are strong words, and somebody might be up in arms about that. If they ever see this. But we're still a small community, right? Like, no one's going to come for me because we're so small. No one's going to see this. So I'm going to call it that Khemjira, so far for me, is topping The Next Prince, which is Domundi's previous series. And then Shine is just on a whole other level by itself. That series is visually beautiful and so interesting. Uh, yeah. And like, I am kind of startled by the fame of the second two actors enough that and their acting is really excellent. So I'm kind of tuned into that. And the way they did that whole sequence of them writing to each other in the library, like through the storytelling in the library. Oh my goodness. That was so cool. Like, how did they know where to find all those lines? That's my question. I don't even know, but all right, let's see what people have to say in the chat here. Khemjira and Shine are both solid. Doctor's Mind lost me. I saw it coming from a mile away, but I agree with you. Really? I didn't see it coming from a mile away. I liked Knight as a character up until the end of this episode. And then I'm like, no, why? Why did you do that? Okay, DeLorean. I'm surprised that I'm not seeing more talk about Doctor's Mind. I see a little on TikTok and MDL, but nowhere else. There's been some on Threads. I've responded to at least one person on Threads. But yeah, it's not a big company. It's a small company. So like the fan base is smaller. None of the actors are as well known. That's probably part of it, DeLorean. Um, and then we're on to the acting in Khemjira. Yuritsa, yes, I agree. They are beautiful and excellent actors. The leads and the secondary couple are really good together. Absolutely. Cericia, good to see you. Doctor's Mind. That is allegedly what happened in the novel. I hope they don't go there. Oh, well, if they do, I'm out. No, just no. We are in 2025 now. Come on. And if they go with that for the plot, that toxic level of plot, I don't know. I feel like it's outdated, especially that trope. When was that trope ever in vogue? Like, was that trope ever in vogue? I guess we see it sometimes in like wuxia Chinese dramas that are kind of fantastical, but no, 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 no. Okay, my favorite right now is Memoir of Rati, but I'm also fully engaged by Shine. Memoir of Rati is up there for me too. That show is really beautiful. Shas. I honestly I'm in love with U and Boom's character. The characters. They are so funny and make me happy until the end of this last episode when they really, really made me sad. But what fantastic acting to make me sad. That was so impressive. Dang. Okay, I agree with that. Next Prince was beautifully done, but Khemjira seems to have a stronger storyline. Thank you, Valerie. Yay, I'm not the only one. Ah, I plan to start Khemjira tomorrow. Chas, unless you're a horror movie fan, I would watch it in the daytime. Uh, yeah, watch it in the daytime. Some people have regretted watching it at night, especially if they were by themselves. Now, if you have somebody to watch it with, that's a different story, perhaps. Or if you like being scared, then by all means, watch it at night. I really need to catch up on Shine. Yes, you do. No, no, of course, it's whatever you would like, but I highly recommend it anyway. Yuritsa, yes, Khemjira is definitely a daytime viewing series. The Next Prince was a womp womp letdown. The storytelling was. There were a lot of good things about that series. Let's just remember all the positives, the improvement of Nunu's acting, the costumes, the set design, the beautiful camera work that they did. The storyline is the thing that fell apart a little bit. And I think like that could be the difference in Khemjira because Khemjira has all those other elements too. It's just that so far the storytelling is better. Shine is top tier storytelling and cinematography. Yes, it is, Yuritsa. Ah, the Shas, yes, the storytelling and editing of Shine is quite impressive. Very much so. Even the music is fun. The music is super fun there too. I think it's super cool. I think it's the first BL series that I'm aware of, anyways, that released a full soundtrack before the show came out. It's not like a single. It's like a full 9 to 10 song soundtrack that you can find on Spotify for Shine that was released like a few weeks before the show started. And I was just like, this is so cool. They have a whole soundtrack. What is this? So like, anyway, okay, onwards. I don't think he did it in Doctor's Mind, but the way they revealed it was just not it. Okay, I hope so. I hope they change the storyline because apparently the novel says otherwise. I can appreciate a romance for the sake of romance, but I appreciate Shine for its bigger story and insight to that time in Thailand's history. Yeah, and the coolest part is if you are willing to browse a little bit on X under the hashtag they mainly put it under the main hashtag rather than episode hashtags. There's quite a few people who are like doing research into the history of Thailand and sharing it. And not just international viewers, but also Thai viewers who are like translators, who are fans of Mile and Appo or the series. They'll go ahead and give us more information about the time in Thailand as well. So it's been really fun getting a history lesson on X. Uh, yeah, if you're not on X, I don't know, X for BL fans, Thailand. I know we hate kind of dislike X a lot for various reasons here in the United States, and those reasons are super valid. But Thailand is unaware, and all of like if you were watching say one of those lives or like a live streaming events from Thailand and wanted to know what people were saying, a lot of times Thai fans on X are super sweet and they post like translations of the bits that they want to share almost in real time sometimes. So when I first started down this rabbit hole, I ended up on X for translations. That hasn't changed a whole lot. Also, that's where a lot of the fandom from Thailand is. So if you want to know what they're thinking about the shows, that's the place to look for it because we're always looking at it from whatever country we happen to be in. We're not looking at it from how they see it, which may not always be the same as how we see it, right? So I feel like in that sense, X is useful. Anyway, rant over. Okay, let's see what else we have. TNP, I agree with you, is beautifully shot acting costumes. I agree, yes. Is anyone watching My Girlfriend is the Man? And if so, how are you feeling about how the boyfriend treats the girlfriend when they are she and when they are a he? I have actually, believe it or not, DeLorean, I have watched a few episodes of that. I I don't know if I've gotten far enough into it to really kind of dive into the differences and how he acts towards her because I haven't gotten that far. I'm like 3 or 4 episodes in, so I don't have a lot to comment on, but I have tried watching it, and all I can say is it's interesting, it, and I can see why he feels the way he does. The boyfriend, it's got to be rough. It's definitely an interesting show. I can see why they did it that way, but anyway, let's see what else have we got. That's how I feel about that DeLorean. I'm not entirely 100% sure how I feel. Yuritsa, I find the historical aspect extremely interesting. I wish the language wasn't so difficult for me. I'd love to be able to read it in Thai. I'm only on X for BLs and ATs. So yeah, why else would you need to be on X? BLs and ATs. For me, it's just BLs. BLs fill up my FYP, and I don't get anything outside of that. Like, none of the stuff that people complain about X ever really crosses my timeline. And okay, I take that back. There's been a few things, but I hit the don't like button because mostly ads, irritating. Just hit don't like. Where does one watch My Girlfriend is the Man? My Girlfriend is the Man is on Vicky, as far as I'm aware. That's where I've been watching it anyway. Vicky. Yep. Everybody got to it before me, but I'll say it for the rest of the world. My Girlfriend is the Man is on Vicky. It's a Korean drama. I, it's interesting. The premise is that there's a man and a woman who are dating, and then one day, overnight, the woman turns into a man via genetic disorder. So wakes up as a male, and then the whole story is about what happens after that in a romantic way, more or less. At least so far as to what I've seen of the story, that's the premise. It's BL adjacent, I guess, kind of. Just simply because it is partially this woman being in a man's form. And the person playing the male version of the woman is pretty fun. He's a fun actor, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's My Girlfriend is the Man. Let's see, what else have we got? I can see why he was shocked, but I'm worried about Endgame. What is the best case for them? What is that from? I'm a little lost. I apologize, DeLorean. Sorry, I forgot about the time change, and so I've missed most of this, but I wanted to say hi, lol. That's okay. It's like a 1 week deal. I understand those who have missed. I think it's miraculous that so many people remembered. I'm like, aw, I feel loved. Hi, Katie. I'm so glad you were able to make it, even if it's only for a little while, because actually there's not a lot happening as far as series go this week that's new or old or ended or anything like that. So we're just in the middle of talking about what's currently happening. And this is the spoilers section. So if uh if you're all right with that, I feel like you're always okay with that. So we'll keep going. Let's see. Is there anything else, guys? I feel like we talked about. Oh, one little push. Don't forget to watch 10 Things I Want to Do Before I Turn 40. That is literally, at least to me, the most adorable thing airing right now. And I don't know, I finally looked the main actor up. I don't know what took me so long. The man is 42. So all of us in our mid to late 30s who are always looking at this voice thinking I'm too old or whatever, the man is 42. And like he's just the most adorable man. So I feel like that makes it even better somehow. So yeah, 10 things I want to do before I turn 40. It's on Gaga Ulala. It is up there with Our Dining Table for me. If you've seen Our Dining Table, you'll know what I mean. If you haven't, there's another recommendation for you. Our Dining Table is another Japanese BL, and it is also on Gaga Ulala. Um, I don't think I ever stopped smiling while watching that show. It's the most adorable thing, and so is this one. They're both freaking adorable. So, yes, all of the comments like 10 things adorable, adorable, perfect. It is adorable. I love JBLs anyway. There you go, Chas. Thanks for reminding me. I started watching it and forgot to go back. Well, now, okay, you're welcome. You're still missing Revenge Love. Does that mean that you're missing the fact that it's ended, or does that mean that you haven't finished it yet? Don't know. I also loved Our Dining Table. Yes, 1000%. So cute. I don't know. I've seen that one a few times now. I love it. Love it so much. Yeah, and 10 Things give similar vibes. Some people compare it to Old Fashioned Cupcake, which is another Japanese BL. I don't know if you can find that one on Gaga. I feel like I might have watched that one on Viki a long time ago. I don't know where that one is currently. But Old Fashioned Cupcake has a similar premise, and I think that's why they liked it. But I don't see it as having a similar vibe, at least not for me. He's so cute. I want to put him in my pocket. Absolutely, 1000%. Yuri said the fact that it ended. Okay. Yeah. I feel like I'm one of the few people that wasn't addicted to revenge love, but I understand the addiction. It just, for me, it was, mm, for me, I wish for a more satisfying ending than I got. But I've been told by many people that I just needed to change my way of thinking about that. Which, like they have valid points and I could see it all. So I don't know. Maybe I'll binge it again one day when I have unlimited free time since it's so long and like rejudge and see if I have a change of feeling after having binged it. I do not know. Oh, all right, guys. Anyways, I have to get going on my evening. I have a fancy dinner to go to tonight, which is why we were early. Back to normal time next week, 6 p.m. And I hope everybody has a good week. Lots of fun things coming. Probably going to chat about revamp next week. Just FYI, heads up. So if you want to give episode 1 a shot and we can chat about it, that'd be really cool. Anyway, I will chat with you guys next time. Have a good week, everybody.